Tonight on Miscellaneous, Tyler jumps over a log.
Oh, dude.
I struggle to put a helmet on. And both of us scream into the woods like banshees. It was a chilly, early morning in central Illinois. The scene? A small farmhouse in the countryside, surrounded by nothing except woods and a small hayfield. A local teenage boy who worked part-time as a mobile vehicle washer was just getting ready to leave before the sunrise. The twilight of the morning was beginning to light the woods by the front yard as the young man walked out the front door of his parents' house, locking it behind him. As he was about to make his way over to his car, he glanced in the direction of the nearby woods and froze. What the young man saw that morning would cause him to run back to his locked front door in such a panic, he wouldn't even take the time to pull the keys to the door out of his pocket. Instead, he would beat on it with his fists again and again till his father came to unlock the door so he could escape what he described as a giant, white-haired monster walking slowly through the woods. After going back inside the house after what seemed like forever, they would go to the window to see that the creature, whatever it was, had disappeared. After a couple days, this family would read in the local paper that someone else had seen an identical beast roaming their property as well, and had even reportedly damaged a vehicle in a local scrapyard. What did the young car washer see on his property that morning? Let's get ready to dig into the fascinating history of the Coal Hollow Road Monster. Welcome back to the channel. This is Miscellaneous, and today we are going to talk about the Coal Hollow Road Monster. Before we get started, remember to like this video, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and also comment your opinions and theories. So Tyler, do you remember anything about the Coal Hollow Road Monster?
I remember a little bit. I remember seeing a couple photos that you showed me, documented evidence of this monster, and not gonna lie, when I saw it, I was just like, I mean, Bigfoot, that's a legend, but this
is real. And we're gonna get real deep into this story, so we're gonna go through all the evidence and all the wonderful pictures.
You had me at deep.
You ready to get into this?
Let's do it.
Here we are in Marquette Heights, Illinois, really close to where this creature was supposedly spotted for a very long time. So let's get into it. The year, 1972. The location, East Peoria, Illinois. A young gas station worker listens to a friend of his tell a tale that would start a frenzy in this city in central Illinois. He claimed that one night while driving to his house on East Peoria's Coal Hollow Road, roll credits, his car began having engine problems and stalled out on the side. He decided to get out and walk the rest of the way. After a while, the sounds of the crickets chirping in the night suddenly ceased, and the man turned to look into the woods. The gas station worker couldn't believe what his friend told him next. The friend claimed that he found himself staring at a giant, sasquatch-like creature with thick white hair. The gas station worker told his other friend, Randall Elmert Sr., about his friend's encounter. Randall decided to get a group of his friends together and go up to Coal Hollow Road to search for the mysterious creature, and it would be Randall himself who would be the first person to officially report seeing the Coal Hollow Monster. When making his report to the Pekin, Illinois Police Department, Randall described the beast as possibly 12 feet tall, covered in white hair, and 3 toes on each foot. I just want to say real quick, so we're going to get into this particular account and the problems with it. One big glaring problem. But I feel like before the confession, let's just say, because we haven't gotten to it yet, people probably should have picked up on something, because if you are seeing a giant 12 foot tall, that's twice as tall as me, white hairy monster in the woods in central Illinois, I feel like it's a strange thing to do to immediately look down and count its toes.
Well, maybe. Because
No.
I don't know. Whenever I see a really, really tall humanoid type creature, the first thing I want to do is look at its feet. That's just me, though. So
We're not
can't blame a guy
We're not
for-
going to talk about what you're into.
Randall also claimed that as soon as the creature had seen him, it let out a high-pitched screeching sound.
See, I'm not into that.
How ugly was Randall that he terrified the monster
Right?
when he saw it? One of them screamed, and it wasn't Randall.
It wasn't Randall.
Soon, more and more people began to report seeing the monster, and eventually a local newspaper ran a story featuring a photo of Randall pointing to an alleged footprint that the creature had left behind from their encounter. The paper officially dubbed the creature the Cohomo monster, or Cohomo for short.
I like that name.
By May of 1972, the Pekin and East Peoria, Illinois Police Department had received over 200 reports from people allegedly spotting the monster.
Not a single one of them had cameras.
It was 1972. Not everybody was carrying cameras in their pockets back then. They did have pants big enough to carry
Did they have disposable cameras in the 70s? Or was that a 90s thing?
I feel like that would have been more a 90s thing.
Ryan, research.
By July, a search party of over 100 volunteers decided to hunt down the creature.
They were invented as early as 1949 with a cardboard camera that shot 8 photos. There was another one created with Bakelite in 1966.
With what?
But they were
Plastic.
yeah, the current Bakelite material.
Plastic.
But
Okay.
They had them.
The question is what type.
The current most popular form was popularized around 1986.
By July, a search party of over 100 volunteers decided to hunt down the creature after it had apparently destroyed a fence.
That's a scary creature.
Would
It's
you-
going around destroying fences.
Yeah. Fences are hard to put up. I would just put one up.
Yeah.
I gave up halfway through. It's still not finished.
The search was ended prematurely, however, when one of the volunteers accidentally shot himself in the foot with his .22 caliber pistol. No such search has taken place since.
And 22 caliber pistols, man, they're just going off all the time. They didn't want to risk it.
It's a legitimate concern. If it happens once, there's no telling when it could strike again.
Yeah, the Cohomo can control guns with his mind. That's what happened.
It's true.
The safety was on.
Reports of sightings continued after the search, with one man even claiming to see the creature while attending a child's birthday party in a local park. The man called the police, telling them he was worried that it was an escaped orangutan from a local zoo, and that he was worried it would harm his children.
Hey, now we're getting into some. This guy seems like a reasonable fellow.
Right?
He's like, it couldn't possibly be a monster. It's an escaped orangutan.
Yeah.
And the cops are just like, we got another sighting of the Cohomo monster. And he's like, no. Didn't you hear it? You idiots.
He's like, it's approximately 12 feet tall? Oh, okay.
Finally, the last reported sighting that year of the Cohomo monster occurred in July, when 2 friends were swimming in the Illinois River.
That was their first mistake.
That was.
They claimed to see the creature on a nearby bank and were so close they reported that they could even smell the foul odor coming off of its fur. The witnesses said the beast looked like a cross between an ape and a caveman. According to witnesses, the creature looked over at them and let out a loud, high-pitched scream before disappearing into the brush.
I feel bad for this monster. People are just scaring him all the time.
Exactly. Could you imagine how bad those, like the Cohomo monster is out there somewhere just being like, good gracious, these 2 kids were coming up and the smell that was coming off their body, it just reeked.
Dude, you know.
And so I screamed and ran away.
You know why he left Illinois? It's because all of his favorite hiding places were probably being taken over by Dollar Generals popping up all over the
You're right.
place. He's like, I used to hide right there in that field, and then up came a Dollar freaking General.
Started heading south, got to Missouri, thought he was safe, and then they followed him down
Yeah,
there.
they started.
That was the last time an official police report was made concerning the Cohomo monster, but it appears it was not the last sighting period. According to certain locals, high-pitched screams, similar to the sounds of the creature, can still be heard in the countryside near Cohomo Road. As for the story of the young man leaving for work in the morning that I started this tale with, That sighting occurred in the early 80s, almost 10 years since the last official police report. And, although we are about to discuss the validity of some of the eyewitness accounts, I do have a particular reason to believe the story of the young man I told you about. That reason being, that man is a member of my own family. Now that we've covered the history of the Coal Hollow Monster, let's dive right into some of the theories and explanations for one of the strangest parts of Central Illinois' history.
Do we know when the Bigfoot obsession
like
was?
the original one?
The original
The
one.
Bigfoot?
The Bigfoot.
I feel like we need to bring in our cryptid expert.
Yeah.
He's not available right now.
Well, maybe we can just flash cut to him.
It's a great idea.
1967.
So
You
that's
think this
happening.
is just like hysteria from all that?
Well, I mean, I think that there's
Everybody
when
wanted their own
something's a
Bigfoot.
national phenomenon,
Yeah.
people think about it.
Yeah.
And so when you see something that's hard to explain, if you already have an idea in your mind, you're more likely to kind of grasp onto straws that might connect, what everybody else is saying to what
Yeah.
you're saying, what you're seeing. And in a way, through the 2000s, anytime you'd see an airplane flying low, your first thought isn't, oh, where's the nearby airport? It's
Your first thought is,
which
am I
building
going
are they
to
going
die?
to hit? Yeah. And so the things that are being talked about in an era will influence the reaction to other things as they happen. So now, as for
I can see
there
that.
being a 12-foot tall,
12 foot is huge.
that's
That's
big.
bigger than
That
Bigfoot.
sounds-
That's bigger than Patty.
That sounds like an exaggeration.
That is
if I
bigger
ever
than
heard
Patty. And Patty was big. And she had some knockers, man.
one. Is that so?
It's true.
I wouldn't have noticed. I was looking at the feet.
Ryan knows. He said so.
Came up.
The first and most obvious theory that I could come up with is that these can all be chalked up to Sasquatch sightings. If you believe in the existence of the creature known as Bigfoot, then maybe it's not that much of a stretch to think that a possible Sasquatch might have migrated through central Illinois in the early 70s. I say migrated because it seems that most Bigfoot or Sasquatch sightings occur in the upper northwestern United States, although some sightings are reported scattered all over the country. Could the Coal Hollow Monster have been a Sasquatch on the move, possibly looking for new territories to haunt? A few problems with this theory are obvious. Firstly, the Coal Hollow Monster is said to have whitish or grayish hair covering its body, whereas most Bigfoots are reported to have brown or blackish hair. The next problem is that the Cohomo supposedly has only 3 toes, and Sasquatch is known from many casted footprints to have 5 toes usually.
Well, that's easily explained by the 10 years between Bigfoot and the Coal Hollow Monster.
That's true. He
Aging,
got old.
man. He
Yeah.
got gray.
He got old and he
Yeah.
got a couple of his toes chopped off, or they just
Exactly.
regressed.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he was evolving.
Into
He
what?
was in the middle of changing into the next
iteration of
iteration
Bigfoot?
of Bigfoot, yeah.
Another theory to get into would be that perhaps a local ape had escaped from a nearby zoo or animal enclosure. Could that explain all the sightings? Well, perhaps. However, again, it does not explain the reported white hair of the creature, along with the fact that witnesses claimed the monster would walk on 2 legs most of the time. Another hole in this theory is that, in all of my research, I was unable to turn over any reported incident of an escaped ape at the time of the monster sightings.
Now that is something that does perplex me, because I've heard this theory with other Bigfoot sightings as well. A lot of people are just like, it's an escaped ape or something, and I'm just like, if an ape had escaped from an enclosure, it would make some form of headline.
Now, there is an admittedly less exciting theory.
I don't want to hear it. I want to continue existing in disbelief.
I like that. I like where your head's at, but no, we must turn over all the rocks.
And that is that the Coal Hollow Beast was just a guy in a costume pulling a very long prank. Now, you may be asking yourself, how could a 12-foot, 700-plus pound beast just be a guy in a costume? And normally, that's where I would agree. However, this theory becomes somewhat plausible when you take into account what Randall Elmert, the one who filed the original police report, said about the incident decades later. Quote, "It was a hoax. We never saw anything."
Boom! He was dead the whole time!
Well,
Twist.
that's anticlimactic.
Twist. Did you see it coming?
You should have led with that.
Randall gave an interview to a local news station and confessed that the whole ordeal originated from a prank he and some others were going to pull on a mutual friend, the one who was originally told about the monster while working at the gas station, where one of them was going to don a white sheet and hide in the woods while he walked home from work. Randall and the friends would then corroborate the story, saying that they had seen it too, so that the story was more convincing.
I just came up with another theory. So you know how Pekin has a little less than reputable reputation?
With people wearing white sheets over their entire body? Yeah. And the pointy cone hat would also make somebody
look taller.
Not be quite 12 foot tall, but...
You know, if it's dark...
Have you ever smelt a clan member?
What?
That would explain the smells as well.
You guys saying the Cohomo was a racist the whole time?
The whole time.
We can't put this in the video.
That will be for our exclusive hands cut.
Along with all the foot stuff.
That's right.
Okay.
Is this
But
made
seriously
for kids?
though, okay, but for real, because the first guy said he saw something.
Yeah.
It's Pekin in 1972. It was
Yeah.
a sundown town.
Yes.
Like, reputably so.
Yo.
You can look it up on Wikipedia.
Oh, it's...
Dude is out in the country, just driving around, looks out, sees something tall and white moving through the woods.
really, really scary.
3 toes.
Did I just solve the mystery?
I think so. Turns out that it was racism all along.
It was recent.
Soon after they had planned this, Randall then called into a local radio station and told the DJ that they had just been up on Coal Hollow Road and had seen a big, white, hairy monster. It was after this that the local newspaper had reached out to Randall, and he took them to a random place in the woods, found what he decided he could pretend to be a footprint, then pointed to it as the newspaper photographed the occasion. According to Randall, the reports of people seeing the creature started pouring in from all over, and it seemed that the prank had become bigger than they originally planned. However, Randall did not outright disregard the reports, saying, "I may have been the first one to report it. Maybe somebody else says they've seen it, and that's fine, I won't. If they say they've seen it, but I know what we did, and we didn't see nothing."
That is a really, really good quote. I was tracking with it from beginning to end.
Me too.
Not confused in the slightest.
I didn't want to lose anything in the translation.
No, that was perfect.
You'd expect, with a confession like that from Randall himself, that the Coal Hollow Road monster's story would end there, with the costume being the most plausible theory, or perhaps group hysteria,
or racism.
But there is one hole in this story. There is still the matter of the original witness to the monster, whose identity I could not turn up in my research. The man that had told the gas station worker about seeing the monster to begin with, after having car trouble that one fateful night. Perhaps there was a creature stalking the countryside in central Illinois, and it just so happened that the person to file the very first police report was trying to pull a prank based on what someone else had actually seen. My final theory is one that I personally believe can explain a lot of these mysterious monster sightings, and that is, was the Coal Hollow monster a flesh and blood creature, or was it demonic in nature? If you believe that the spiritual and the physical exist in the same realm, like I do, then it's plausible to think that perhaps the creature of Coal Hollow Road was not a creature at all, but a case where a demonic entity was made visible to many people for a short period of time.
So I believe this actually explains a lot of stuff. Because when you get into the Bible and ancient Jewish literature, like the spiritual beings, when they're described, like the cherubim and the seraphim and stuff, they have animal-like characteristics. And sometimes they're an amalgamation. And so it would make sense that, like, if you could see, like, a demon, like, it would probably look... I mean, it just stands to reason that it wouldn't look like you see in, like, Hollywood. It would look like, I don't know, some amalgamation of animal. Maybe animal-human hybrid type deal.
So was the Coal Hollow monster an incident where many people were allowed to actually see a spiritual being wandering to and fro throughout the earth? I have no idea.
Okay, so out of all those theories, what do you think is the most plausible, or where do you land on this whole situation?
I want to believe that it's just a white Sasquatch, but also, I mean, people have been pranksters throughout all of time. Who's to say that when you start hearing people say that they're seeing this thing, you don't want to just drive that?
Nobody, like, this is not a famous monster, but this is like Illinois' Bigfoot,
Yeah.
as far as I can tell. And nobody talks about it at all. But again, like, the guy admitted to the prank, right? But there's still the matter of the guy that you first heard it from.
In the 70s, Peoria was pretty dead. Pekin was even smaller. Marquette Heights is like non-existent on the map. I think if a sighting like this happened pre-Prohibition, it probably would be more broadly known, because Peoria was more of a major city back then.
Here's the other thing. It was the early 70s. I mean, drugs abound, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe people heard a crazy story and then they're just like, bro, did you hear that story about... Oh my gosh, there it is!
Yeah.
Were you doing drugs? Be honest. God is watching. You have to discount them. You have to.
Before we continue this interview, please pee in this cup.
And then we'll talk
personal
monsters.
reasons.
Maybe for you. You
Like said,
weirdo.
did my drug test come back clean? Drug test.
Drug test.
But now we get to the best part of this episode, where we travel to Coal Hollow Road itself to listen for the screams of the creature that are still reported to this day.
Are you ready to go look for a monster?
Let's go find a monster.
Let's do it.
With the research portion of our investigation out of the way, it was now time to don the proper equipment and begin our exploration of what used to be the Cohomo's favorite stomping grounds.
The only problem was, we had a slight disagreement on what the proper equipment was. Yeah.
And then I want the GoPro.
Really, we talked about this.
I still want it. I want to get an action shot. If we do see the Cohomo, I want to get an action shot if he's running at me.
You can't use my GoPro camera right. It's mounted to my motorcycle helmet, and I'm not taking it off my helmet right now.
Well, then give me the helmet. I'll just wear the helmet. But I want people to see, if he kills me, I want them to see how he killed me.
What the heck, man?
Perfectly.
Here.
All right, give me that.
Freaking thing on.
Here. Somebody hold this. Okay.
David's insisting on using the GoPro camera. Not even going to use any of the footage.
And there were other issues.
Filming in vertical.
We all have to make sacrifices, David.
Squeeze.
I have squeezed a lot.
David, clench. Goodness sakes, come on.
I
You want to tuck your ears in.
haven't squeezed more in my life.
You want to tuck your ears in, or are you going to cut those
Dude,
off?
there's no way I can possibly tuck my ears into this.
Here's the thing.
Tyler's head is like a freaking Vienna sausage. It fits in here. Okay, I'm ready. Let's do this. My temples are being crushed.
But with a little help from Ryan,
Let's see if I can save your ears.
Your fingernails are piercing me. Oh yeah.
Is that better?
Yeah, and I have this super powerful flashlight. Hopefully you can still hear me on the microphone. I'm ready. Where's the camera?
after a brief test of our flashlights,
I wouldn't do that. I especially wouldn't do it with this thing. Check this out. Watch this.
It's probably going to be more impressive once it's dark.
I forgot what I'm doing.
Don't kill the battery though.
All right. We're going to go in there. We're going to listen for screeches.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to look for big white hairy things.
Here we go.
we were finally ready to enter the forest.
You need men of intelligence for this kind of journey, quest, thing.
I'm wearing the latest in Cohomo hunting fashion. It's sexy. If I were a Coal Hollow Road monster, these would be the woods that I would haunt for sure. Look at all this
Absolutely.
undergrowth. This is like impossible.
Well, and when you're 12 foot tall, this undergrowth doesn't actually do anything to stop you,
That's fair.
right? It's
Yeah,
basically
that
just
is
a lawn
true.
to him.
You probably just barrel through it like freaking Jake at a sour cream factory. I don't even know if this is a real trail we're on. This looks more like a deer trail. We're gonna wind up on somebody's private property. We're gonna get shot today.
Is it hunting season? Because if so, yes.
It doesn't have to be hunting season for somebody to shoot trespassers. But I mean, it does kind of make sense though. Like these woods are so overgrown that I definitely see how a monster could hide in here for a while.
Right.
That would explain the 10-year gap between those sightings. Hey, we know he likes gas station sodas. That's clue number 1.
A man of taste. A beast of taste.
At this point, Tyler decided he was done walking and that we needed to come up with a way to draw the beast to us.
I feel like in order to truly entice this thing out, I mean, we've got to do our best sexy female Cohomo screech mating call.
Well, actually, I was thinking about doing
Goes
my
both
best
ways.
Christopher Lee impression of a Cohomo.
What's that?
I don't know. Like, ooh, ooh, ah, 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 ah. This has been Christopher Lee. You're the narrator, Mr. Tallin.
All right.
Go ahead and give your best Cohomo voice.
Do you want me to do it right now?
Yeah.
Dude, we're so
Okay.
close to the playground.
Look at how... Yo, you're not allowed within any...
We've got to be real careful here.
With the conversation going on right now, let's not even joke about that.
There are cops there, but
We're just like, you know what? We want to be famous YouTubers. Let's just jump straight to the end goal.
Famous YouTubers do.
Okay.
Hey, we've hit 57 subscribers. Come on.
It's a
High
milestone.
expectation.
It's a milestone. When we hit 100, I'm buying some whiskey. All right.
we were gonna do that anyway.
True.
I don't even know what I'm going to do right now.
Like a great ape. It's a great ape of some kind.
Well, it's not a great ape though. It's like it's a screech.
I used to have a great monkey call. Do you want to hear it?
What's that?
All right, I'll do it. Let me stand on the precipice. Trade me spots.
Yes.
I'm going to do this call, and then as I do it, just like pan out slowly, and you might see a Cohomo's head pop up. I mean, if I were a freaking Coal Hollow Road monster, I'd be turned on right now.
See, that's not at all what I was expecting.
What were you expecting?
I was just expecting some kind of a long drawn out shriek. Like
Go and do it then.
not the way I wanted to.
Go on the precipice. Get down on the call in the calling area. No, he's not at a NASCAR race.
I don't know what I was expecting.
That was absurd. One just pops up just to be like, what the that?
Are you okay, man?
You sound like my mother-in-law having diarrhea.
It was clear we were going to have to work a little harder to find our monster, so we decided at that point to split up and cover more ground.
Actually, this is a good fork in the road. Should we split up?
Yeah, let's split up, cover more ground.
Let's split up and do the solitary searches. You're coming with me.
Best of luck.
Lose it. Thank you.
Are you going left or right?
I'll go right.
I'll go left.
What are you doing?
Forcing this helmet on my head by using the landscape to my
do
advantage.
you want help? It worked so well last time.
All right, Steven. Do the same.
Where are we going?
We're going that way.
Never stop
Alright.
recording. Like that.
Bye, Cheryl. Bye. Bye, Cheryl. Bye. Wait, it's a mountain biking path. If I ever saw a total hollow monster footpath, this is what I would expect to see. Let's follow this way.
So, looks like they're gonna go down that trail. We're not even on a trail anymore. Oh, we're gonna go this way. Okay. This is where I'm going. This would have been probably a main trail that people would have seen the Coal Hollow Road monster on, which is kind of crazy to think about, because this is a park, this is a hiking park, and this is right in the area where people saw this thing 200 times, and that was just the reported sightings. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of glad I have a cameraman with me, because walking around in strange woods that I don't know at night, walking around in familiar woods at night freaks me out. So, and it is getting darker. Oop. That was the monster.
Meanwhile, on my trail, I had made an exciting discovery. There's some signs of civilization over here. It's either humans or it's the Coal Hollow monster, having evolved over the last 40 years, getting to the point of actually building wooden footbridges.
Nature's amazing. Oh, dude, we're getting an angle on this. I got 0% of that. That was terrible. Yeah, let's get... Here, let me get a different angle.
In the meantime, back with the investigation team taking their job seriously.
That is a very interesting bridge. I've never seen... Oh, it's a spinal column, yuck. Every time I walk across something like this, I think about Ichabod Crane.
Why?
Because he crosses a bridge in Sleepy Hollow. I don't know. Just the sound of it. When I was a kid, there was a haunted outside trail. Let me tell it like this. When I was a kid, there was a haunted outside trail that we went to in October, and they had something like this, but it was set higher up. And they always had guys in werewolf costumes under the bridge trying to grab your feet. And it was terrifying.
Was it also when your parents were making you wear a helmet?
I was a helmet kid.
I was actually almost a helmet kid. You think
Really?
you think your head size problems are a big deal? I was constantly falling over, and they were actually seriously concerned for my health. I was so top heavy with my head.
You're not allowed to tell stories anymore.
As night fell, I suddenly had the feeling on my trail I was being watched. You gotta believe, Steven.
No.
You gotta believe. You see it? Oh yeah. Yeah. Looks like there might be a couple over there.
Things weren't much more exciting on our end.
I really have to pee.
We're in the woods.
Honestly, if we really want to spot the Coal Hollow monster, this thing's 12 foot tall. I'm 6'4", probably 6'3" as I'm aging and compressing. What that means is this thing's at almost twice as tall as I am. So if we really want to spot it, we got to get on its level. I think that means we got to climb trees. This looks like a good one.
So people always talked about hearing screeches. This creature would make high-pitched screeches, and people still to this day report high-pitched screeches. So here I am in an open area. I think I'm gonna try calling the Cohomo again. Hey, bear. What was that? We're gonna get the cops called on us.
Closer.
I can't do it.
Keep trying, you might get it.
Keep trying, we're gonna wind up in jail.
I think they'll understand you're hunting for the Cohomo.
That was pretty great.
No dice. I was able to see over the ridge though, and I think that there's more stuff over there we should check out. Let's go.
All right.
Okay, so scary story time. I can see being out here why the person that I know that saw this thing in the 80s, I can see why they didn't even bother wasting time getting their keys. Because if I was out here and his house was in woods like this, if I was out here and I saw something like that, I would literally have broken a window. Like, legitimately, I would have broken a window to get away from it. I would have crapped a Catholic brick. Would have come out, freaking saying the rosaries and everything.
Speaking of crapping bricks, it looks like the trail keeps on going down and around. What the heck? Oh my gosh, Steve, look at that. No, come on, let's go. Get out of here. Come on, keep up with me. Oh my gosh. What the heck is that?
Central Illinois is a much friendlier environment for monster hunters.
Very hard to find the monsters, though.
Dude, we got it. There's like walnuts falling. We gotta get out of here before we get beamed on the head.
Squirrels are the worst monsters of them all.
What am I doing? I brought the one thing I actually need. Let's go.
Despite the dangers on my end, my companion didn't seem to be faring any better.
That was so cool!
I've never seen a spider that big before. Oh, that was terrifying. It was big.
You didn't see the Cohomo monster?
Dude, it was a spider literally this big around.
Dude,
No, I'm not sticking around for that.
that's pretty bad too.
A lot of Sasquatch hunting shows that I've seen, they'll like come across like a, I can't remember because it's been a long time, but they'll come across like basically it's like something like this. It's like a really skinny tree, but it'll be like dead. And it'll just be like leaning against a bigger tree, and they'll be like, yeah, this is what they do sometimes. They stack the trees like this. I'm like, you're right. There's no natural way that a tree could lean against another tree like that.
After getting mildly lost due to a bout of arachnophobia, we made another discovery. Something shiny down through here. It's one of two things. It's either sap.
There's something shiny on that tree. Do you see that? You know what I am thankful for about Central Illinois? Is you don't have venomous snakes. You know? Because when I was in Southern Illinois, it looks like sap or something.
Crikey, what's this? Is this the Cohomo saliva?
Sign me up for the Olympics, man. Skateboardless skating, here I come.
Skateboardless skating.
Hey, you guys! Oh, I love you too.
Was that the Cohomo?
Yeah, I think he's flirting with me.
Dude, what if we come across like a group of teenagers doing drugs and they're just like, we just saw it! The Cohomo's out here still!
Well, the natural thing to do would be ask what drugs they're taking and participate.
Like, we found it, guys!
Speaking of doing drugs,
Okay, but if the demon thing is right, then technically the Cohomo is an interdimensional being, right? Because it's slipping from the unseen realm. Oh my gosh, dude, that scared me to freaking death. Oh, that just gave me a freaking heart attack. The light that you're holding reflected off of that piece of wood right there, but it was just like, it was shining through the crevice in your arm or something. So it just like was just a section of white, and it literally went across that out of the corner of my eye, and I straight up thought that that was some sort of creature like literally running this way towards you. I literally had it. You probably caught it in the camera. It was a legitimate heart attack happened. But like I was saying, like if the Cohomo is an interdimensional being that's like demonic in nature, and Elohim, as you will, and it's slipping from the unseen realm to the visible realm, then that would make a lot of sense. That would explain a lot of cryptid sightings. I thought that was a big nail.
Also a sign of the Cohomo.
I can't believe that I just got scared searching for the Coal Hollow Road monster. I legitimately was not expecting that at all to happen.
That happened once.
I feel like a little baby girl right now. So, I'm not gonna lie, part of me wants to freaking slam some Mickey D's after this. Or get a nice cold brewski. I feel like if we did find a monster, that would be the way to celebrate.
I think that was enough.
Yeah. I never even broke up my two step.
Oh no.
I'm actually really bad at the two step.
I think if the Cohomo were in this forest, it would probably have come to the call of its people.
The best part of that song is when he goes, "I'll make a red signs." Yeah, it's good stuff.
It's pretty intense.
Yeah. Anyway, let's go find a monster.
All right.
This one actually has the exact same feature. We heard it. It said it loved us too.
How do I get to you?
Come through right here.
Is there poison ivy?
With that flashlight, it goes up to 4,000 lumens. This one, unfortunately, is low on battery, but it has the same burst mode, but it goes up to 13,000. But we don't get to
Why
see that
didn't you
today.
give me that one?
Because, you know why?
That's the one I
You
want.
see this hole melted in the bottom of it?
That's the one I want.
Yeah.
I want the flashlight that melts things and blinds people. That's what I want.
So this one accidentally went in burst mode and almost caught fire.
So if this wouldn't have been bright enough to blind the Cohomo if I was getting attacked, you would have left me defenseless.
No, but it would give me just enough time to run away.
Not even just enough time to use that thing. Just enough time to run away.
Exactly
Good
so.
Lord Almighty. Hey guys, the trail actually just curves right there. So.
Thanks for pointing that out.
Well, I thought you wanted to go. I thought you wanted a rugged experience. We're out in the woods. You're wearing shorts. Oh, sorry, you're wearing some kid's shorts.
These are my long shorts. I purposefully left my 3-inch inseam shorts at home.
And we're walking. What did you guys see?
Oh, we
Dude,
saw
we
a
got
lot
a
of
bunch
stuff.
of really good footage.
Yeah.
It was pretty great.
I actually got the crap scared out of me. So
Really?
yeah.
Same.
I did not expect. I did not expect to have the crap scared out of me searching for the Coal Hollow Road monster, but I did.
Oh, you little bit.
What'd you see?
There was a moment where we were walking along, and we saw several creatures off in the woods. ahead of
Various
us.
sizes.
Various sizes and ages.
Can't say exactly how many toes they had.
I was looking.
That's because that's not the first thing you look at.
Looking,
Right,
but I
we didn't see
couldn't
it.
quite count. I saw two.
You were only looking at it because of the story.
saw two.
At
but
least 2 toes.
probably no.
So you saw some deer, is what you're saying?
You know, in the moment, it was really hard to identify them. They were
deer?
big. They were big deer, though.
The deer's butts are white. Have you ever seen a white-tailed deer's butt cheeks? They are fluffy like a poodle.
You're making fun of me for looking at their feet.
At least the freaking butt looks cuddly. There's something enticing about a deer's butt cheeks.
He was too busy trying to stay alive.
I'm glad.
We ran for our lives.
I'm glad you saw something though.
Yeah, but you didn't see anything.
No, what happened?
You just had the crap scared out of your butthole.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you.
Nothing.
No, I'll tell you what I saw when we get up to the thing.
Okay.
But I got scared.
All right, well, let's head on back then.
It was a horrifying thing. You should have seen it. 12 foot tall, at least, I'd say.
Yeah.
Ryan, wouldn't you say? 12 foot tall?
At least.
However, as we made our way back up the hill, it became clear that Tyler, our designated navigator, had lost the trail like an imbecile.
Past that.
We're up this way.
Connection, for sure.
Guys, are we actually lost in the woods?
Dude, this is when it starts.
Yeah, hey, Tyler, we start at a high point.
Yeah.
So I think it's actually up this way.
I felt like it was a more pronounced trail coming into it, though.
No, I think we... So,
What was it down there,
Update.
Steven?
we're actually lost in the woods. This is just...
Let's just go this way, Steven.
Oh, so we're splitting up?
We're splitting up again.
We're splitting up. Hey, guys, if we find the way out, we'll leave without you.
Yep.
We just found it. It's right here. We win. You lose. Sorry. Play again next time. Ryan, are we just smarter than them?
Is that a bat?
I'm pretty sure this helmet is squeezing my brain. Like, I actually lost the ability to form rational thoughts. I'm gonna take it off. Oh my gosh. Oh, the blood flow. Oh. Something just straight up was running right up there.
Finally, through pure intellectual superiority, I had found the exit.
Tyler and Steven are still lost somewhere. They're probably dead. But the important thing is I made it out. I will say that Tyler was a good companion. He was always helpful making the videos and running the channel. I did more work than him, but he was still helpful in the little that he did. Very little. Oh, there's a bat. Oh my gosh! I was just talking about how long it was going to take you guys to get out of the woods.
Well, it's because
Did you see that bat?
We were just capturing all the quality content. I knew you weren't going to actually be getting anything good. It's really just going to be up to me and Steven to actually do any work here.
Yeah, probably. I'm looking at the bats though. I'm not paying attention to anything you're saying.
The stories of the Cohomo monster are both strange and fascinating, and differ slightly from other more famous monster sightings in America. And as we explored the woods that the sightings originated from almost 40 years ago, I couldn't help but feel as though I was intruding into a territory where I did not belong. There was a chill in the air and on the back of my neck, and I could see how people would think that a mysterious being could dwell in those dark woods. Although we may never know what that man saw on that fateful day in 1972, I believe the member of my family who witnessed the same creature, and after walking through that particular part of the Illinois wilderness, I can't deny the possibility of a creature calling that area home, if only for a brief period of time.
I just want to say, if somebody now, like, went and bought a white hairy gorilla suit and just started walking around this area, the headlines, it would probably be like, even though people would be like, oh, that was fake, the headlines would probably recall the Cohomo Road monster, and then it would be famous again.
It's true.
It would be brought back into the public eye for the first time. You probably have more YouTubers talking about it.
Probably.
Being as cool as we are right now.
Exactly. We're like hipsters.
We are hipsters, man.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. We were cool before it was cool. Remember to subscribe to the channel if you want to hear more about things like this and see more content like this and see these pumpkins again. Bye.
When was the last time you had a McDonald's sandwich?
It's been a long time. Feels good.
Yeah, does it?
Feels right.
It's not gonna feel good.
I didn't even chew that.
Feel very bad later.
You know, you forget how peppery their burgers are. There's a lot of pepper on it. Why do they do that? What's up with that?
Makes it go down.
Is it to mask that it's made of cockroaches? Because we already know, like we've accepted that it's cockroaches, clearly, as a society. It's like Snowpiercer.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
You know, I'm not gonna lie, they really made those look appetizing.